Assalamu alaikum and beautiful morning. Let's continue our today's class. Our topic for today's class is identifying conflict in a story. Our aim for today's class is to identify difference of opinion leading to conflict in a story. Our agenda includes reading, then we will have activity, and then we'll discuss on the same activity, and then I'll give you to write. Resources required for today's class are content book page number 64 and notebook, and then is most importantly pencil. Keywords of our today's class are: first one is opinion is nothing but your own ideas, and then number two, conflict is nothing but argument. Fine, in your language you can say fight. Okay, let's move towards our activity of today's class. As I have discussed in your first video, you have sent me this activities answer. Most of you have sent me activity answer. Yeah, your answer was like some of you said this chair is belongs to Amit, and some of you said this chair is belong to what one more Kunal, right? So you did not. I'll tell you this answer at last. So, children, let's start doing our activity. So, put your fingers on the words, eyes on the content, and ears on me. Let's reread this block for your understanding. Block 11, The Olive Trees by Elsa Marston. For many years, the stone house next to Samir's home had stood empty. When Samir asked his mother about it, she would sigh, "Ah, what a pity. Before the war, nobody cared who was of one religion and who was of another. Things changed when the fighting started. However, our neighbors felt uneasy because they were different from most of the village, and so they left. What a pity. Now, thank goodness, the long war was over. At last, the family who owned the house was coming back. Under the old olive tree, Samir leaned against a stone wall that stood between the two houses and watched every move in the yard next door. People were carrying mattresses, chairs, saucepans, everything needed to bring a house back to life. Yes. Next, Samir hoped the neighbors would also have a boy. They could have such fun, roaming the mountainsides, kicking a football on the street, eating the sweet ripe figs, and climbing the olive tree. He glanced up at the gnarled old branches. That tree, his mother always said, gave the best olives in Lebanon. And what is life for the Lebanese without olives? Every year she put up many jars with lemons and hot pepper, and his family had enjoyed those olives for as long as Samir could remember. Now he wondered whether that might change too. The neighbors soon settled back into their house. They were always polite, but they did not return visit or the welcoming gifts of fruit and sweet. Samir heard his parents say that they still seemed to feel uneasy. What's more, they did not have a boy. Instead, they had a girl named Nada. She looked the same age as Samir, but she would have nothing at all to do with him. Sometimes, standing by the wall in the shade of the olive tree, he watched Nada helping her mother or playing by herself. He never saw her look his way as the heat of summer passed. The green olives started to ripen. They fell to the ground, and as always, Samir gathered them in a basket. One morning, when he was picking up olives, he noticed Nada at the wall. For a while, she watched him in a silence, and at last she spoke. "Those are our olives, ours." Straightening up to face her, Samir said coldly, "They are on our land." Yes, but the tree is on our land, said Nada angrily. It grows in our soil, and its roots drink the water of that soil. It has belonged to my family for over 100 years. Samir sighed. Yes, what she said was true. The tree did belong to Nada's family. Um, Olive trees often twist into strange shapes as they grow, and while the trunk of the tree stood firmly on the neighbor's land, most of its branches stretched far over the wall. They dropped the best olives in Lebanon right into Samir's yard. Listen, all the time you people were away, we took care of this tree. We pruned it and watered it. We have a right to the olives. We are back now, though, said Nada, and we will take care of it. We shall have the olives. Samir glared at her. Then he leaned over the wall, dumped his basket of olives into her yard, turned his back, and walked away. Let Nada have them. After that, the olives went on. After that, the olives went on dropping into Samir's yard and simply lay in the dust. Nobody gathered them. This is what to read now. So we'll do our activity now. Listen to me carefully and answer me for my question. Fine. Whom do you think the olive tree belongs to? Why do you think so? I want your voice note, children. Okay. Some of your answers might be like the olive tree belongs to Samir. You will say like that, right? The olive tree belongs to Samir because he watered the plant, he pruned it. Your opinion might be something like this, right? Samir took care of the tree for years. He watered, he he watered a plant, the olives fall on their land, so that's why it is of Samir, we can say like that. And some of your opinion might be like the olives belongs to Nada's family. You will say like that, right? Why you will say that? You would say like a tree belonged to them for 100 years, and the tree grows on their land. It drinks water of their soil. So you can say like that, right? Some of your answer might be like it belongs to Samir, and most of your answer might be like it belongs to Nada, right? Nobody's idea is same here. Ideas are different from each other. Why? So let's go towards our discussion of our today's class. Do you and your partner think the same way? I don't think you and your partner think the same way. Your answer might be like it belongs to Samir. Your partner's answer might be like it belongs to Nada. So we cannot say that you and your partners think the same way. Okay. Do Samir and Nada think the same way? No. They both also did not think. They don't. Okay. They don't think the same way. Why? See, let's see. Different opinions means, and if we have different opinions, what happens, it leads to conflicts means fighting. Fine. Here, arguments, it leads us to conflict. So if you say that Samir's family should have the olives, there your ideas like because Samir took care of tree for years, they watered and pruned it, the olives fall on their land, so that's why you can say that Samir's family should have the olives. If your opinion is like Nada's family should have the olives, then why you would say because the tree belonged to them for 100 years, it grows on their land and drinks water of their soil. If you have two different opinions, then what happens? It will lead you to conflict. It will leads to conflict, isn't it? You will not agree with your friend, then your friend will not be agree with you, then you will start fighting on the same, like debate kind of um, conflict will be going on. So we have identified the conflict in a story here, isn't it? I think the tree is belong to, at last I will say one thing. I think the tree is belong to Samir's family. Okay, because Samir has took care of the tree for years. While Nada and her family was not around, Samir has took care of that family. They watered it, they pruned it, and also they have looked after the plant and they have make it as big one, right? Okay, we cannot say that the olives are belong to Nada's family here, okay, because they have already left their house. They have taken care of it, right? Samir's family. So now here, whom do you think the chair belongs to, children? Is that belong to Amit or Kunal? I think your opinion like might be like it is belong to Amit, because Amit, you will say like your opinion will be like he worked hard, he chose, he cut the wood, he used nails and hammers to put it together, isn't it? And even polished it. Once he did this, okay, but not for all the time. But who took care of it, children? Kunal. He cleaned it every day, he repaired it, he polished it every few months. So we can say that the tree belongs to Kunal, because he took care of, he cleaned it every day. Every day he used to take care of that. He repaired it when it broke and polished it every few months. Here Amit has left the chair behind yourself. So we can say that the chair belongs to Kunal. In the story, the same way, Nada's family has left the olive tree in their yard, and Samir's family took care of the tree for years. They watered it, they pruned it, and the olives fall on their land. So we can say that the tree belongs to Samir. Fine. Hope you all have understood the concept. Jazakumullahu khaira. Have a good day.